Have you ever stopped to think that even the happiest characters in My Little Pony hide some really dark fears? Today, we're diving into the biggest insecurities of the main six and a few others too. From abandonment, loneliness, and failure to even chickens. And what do these fears actually say about each pony? Let's find out. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and how about we start with the most cheerful and fun pony of them all, Pinkie Pie. The ironic thing here about Pinkie is that even though she's the happiest pony in Ponyville, her biggest fear has always been ending up all alone. Deep down, she is terrified of not being fun enough for other ponies, or even throwing bad or boring parties. But her biggest fear is being abandoned by her very best friends, just like we saw in the episode Party of One. And this shows to us that just because someone, or in this case some pony, is always smiling, doesn't mean they don't have fears or insecurities within them. Rarity's fear is somehow hilarious and totally understandable at the same time. And as you'd probably expect, she is terrified of ugly clothes. Like that one time that we saw the horrible dress Applejack was trying to make and acted like she was trapped in a terrible dream. But it was in the episode The Cutie Remark from season 5 that we saw that she had practically had a meltdown after seeing those awful curtains in the shed. I know it sounds like a joke, but that had to be the looking at pony dresses in raggedy clothes and cheap looking fabric. What a worse scenario. Even though one of Applejack's biggest fears is losing the barn and the Apple family farm, I'm almost sure her biggest fear is losing Apple Bloom. You see, Applejack has always taken on that super protective big sister role, almost like a second mom sometimes. There's even that scene where Apple Bloom almost gets attacked by that creepy creature and Applejack instantly throws herself at the thing without even thinking twice, ready to fight no matter what just to protect her little sis. It really shows that for AJ, family will always come before anything else. Now, Rainbow Dash's fear goes way beyond just admitting defeat or confessing she messed something up. It's admitting that she actually likes girly stuff, since she always trying to keep up with the tough girl image, you know? And you can totally tell there are moments that she tries to act way cooler than she really is, just so she doesn't lose her reputation. There's even official art of Dash having tea with Twilight Sparkle, and then there's the whole thing about her hating when ponies touch her hooves, probably because she's scared it will hurt or something. But hey, leave a like in the video if you watching this vid also pretend certain fears don't exist just to keep looking cool. As for Fluttershy's fear, well, it's basically everything. This lovely pony is scared of dark places and closed spaces and even of her own shadow, but if we're talking about something a little deeper, I think one of her biggest fears is seeing her friends fighting and turning against each other. I also feel like Fluttershy has a huge fear of being abandoned, both by her friends and by all the animals and creatures she loves and cares for so much. Cause deep down, Fluttershy is an incredibly sensitive pony who forms really strong emotional bonds with others. And how about we switch things up and talk about a character who isn't part of the main six, but it's directly connected to our dear Fluttershy. I hope you guessed Discord, because that's exactly who I'm talking about here. Since the very first time they met, Fluttershy and Discord built such a strong friendship that I bet my entire Pinkie Pie sticker collection that the Lord of Chaos' biggest fear is losing his greatest love. I mean, this greatest friend, Fluttershy. In fact, in that G5 comic, Discord practically stopped taking care of himself after she was gone. The guy was so devastated, he looked like he aged 1,000 extra years. Poor fella. But Twilight Sparkle's fear is honestly, I feel like they were made up out of nowhere just to be funny-ish or whatever. Seriously guys, being afraid of ladybugs? Really? We've literally seen moments in the show where Twilight was near a ladybug and didn't care at all. And according to the series, that fear came from Shining Armor telling her the black spots on the ladybugs are actually eyes. And what about her fear of quesadillas? For them being too cheesy. I mean, what? But putting those weird fears aside, back in the earlier seasons, Twilight's biggest fear was disappointing Princess Celestia, since she put an amount of pressure on herself to be perfect at everything all the time. And if you are also or used to be the type of person who wanted to be perfect at everything, leave a comment down below saying that you wanted to be perfect at, along with the emoji here. So I'll know you made it all through the video. Do you know Spike's biggest fear was being abandoned by Twilight Sparkle? Yeah, it makes total sense. You see, since he was just an egg, he basically grew up by her side and developed a really strong emotional attachment to her. Spike was always trying to help her and the other girls, always trying to make Twilight happy and all, just to prove that he was useful and he would not get pushed aside. Poor little baby dragon. But we all know Twilight has always loved him for who he was and not for what he did. But what about the royal sisters? Do they have fears and insecurities too? Even as powerful alicorns? For better or worse, yep, they definitely do. Celestia, for example, is terrified of chickens. Yeah, chickens. I'm not kidding. Maybe it comes from some childhood trauma or something like that. Meanwhile, Luna was afraid of becoming Nightmare Moon again. But unlike Luna, who managed to move forward from this nightmare thing, Celestia's true fear is or was to imprison her own sister to the moon all over again. A fear way bigger than those chickens, I should say. Hasta la vista.